Well, still in the US, and so far this year, there have been more mass shootings than days. And many are looking to the president for answers. Joe Biden will address the nation on guns in the coming hours at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. And it comes after yet another mass shooting. This one at a hospital complex in Tulsa, Oklahoma on Wednesday. A gunman killed 4 people before apparently turning the weapon on himself. At a news conference just hours ago, Tulsa's police chief says the suspect had been a patient of one of the victims, a doctor who had performed back surgery on the gunman last month. There have been 20 mass shootings in the U.S. since the school massacre in Uvalde, Texas, which happened just 9 days ago. CNN's Lucy Kafanov is in Tulsa for us and joins us now live. And I'm sorry to say, Lucy, you've gone from one massacre to another. We heard from the Tulsa police chief a few hours ago saying that this gunman just began firing at anyone and that he'd bought this AR-style rifle on the same day as he carried out this shooting.
That's right, Lynda, and it's tragic, really, that just last week I was standing in front of a hospital in San Antonio, Texas, talking about the victims of the Uvalde shooting with you, and here we are in front of the St. Francis Hospital campus talking about the shooting that took place yesterday. Police have identified the suspected gunman as Michael Lewis. They said that he entered the campus yesterday with that AR-15 style rifle, which I should add was the same style rifle that was used in Uvalde and the Buffalo supermarket shooting prior to that. He purchased the weapon the same day. He had the intent, according to police, to kill his doctor, a man named Dr. Preston Phillips, and anyone who came in his way. We know that because a letter was found on the body of Michael Lewis by police and authorities. And I want to walk you through the timeline here. We know that on May 19th, Michael Lewis went in for back surgery. He saw Dr. Preston. He was released on May 24th. After the release, he kept calling the clinic complaining of back pain, seeking additional treatment. He was scheduled and saw, in fact, Dr. Phillips on May 31st. He had another treatment. We then understand yesterday, on June 1st, he went in at 2 p.m. He purchased this AR-style weapon from a gun store, semi-automatic rifle, and just about 2 hours later entered this campus and opened fire. It took place on the second floor. Police responded quickly. The first phone call, 911 call, came in at around 4:52 p.m. By 5 p.m., police were certainly on the scene, but I want to focus on the victims as well, the people who lost their lives. We have Dr. Preston Phillips, 59 years old, the surgeon who treated the gunman. We know that he's previously gone on several medical missions to Africa. He volunteered with a nonprofit organization that provided surgical services to those in need. He helped a lot of people, not just here in the United States. He was killed alongside Dr. Stephanie Hewson, a 48-year-old sports medicine specialist. Also, Amanda Glenn, she was a receptionist who was at that office. She lost her life that day, as did William Love, a patient who was in the office. We understand from police that he actually helped someone else escape with their lives. He was critically wounded. The medical team was unable to save him. The doctor here breaking down into tears, recounting that moment. Take a listen.
We so wanted to be able to utilize our skills and training to save these precious lives. To the family of Mr. Love, I'm so sorry we couldn't save you. We are grieving with you. When I woke this morning, I really just wanted this to all be a bad dream, but this is the reality of our world right now. And today our world and our St. Francis family are devastated.
The reality of the American world, Lynda.
Yeah, exactly. This is very much a U.S. problem. As I mentioned, the U.S. president will address this issue 7:30 p.m. Eastern in the coming hours. We will bring that to you live. Lucy Kafanov for us in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Thank you very much. Well, the Texas town of Uvalde is engulfed in grief, with more funerals happening today for the young children killed in last week's school massacre. Mourners are saying goodbye today to 11-year-old Miranda Gale Mathis and 10-year-old Nevaeh Alisa Bravo. Her name is Heaven, spelled backwards. Well, as family and friends mourn those killed, more details are emerging about the controversial police response to this shooting. The city's mayor says a negotiator tried to reach the gunman by phone during the attack. CNN's Nick Valencia reports.
Our hearts are broken. Our hearts are broken for 21 family members.
Uvalde Mayor Don McLaughlin speaking out in an interview saying he rushed to Robb Elementary School once he heard of the shooting, but heard no 911 calls from students or shots fired.
Look, when the call came out that there was a shooter at that school, I left and I went to that scene within 15 minutes. And while I was there, I did not hear the 911 calls. I can assure you, had we been aware of it, or I would have been aware of it, I would have been screaming. I did not hear them. That doesn't mean they weren't blaring on every radio there.
He says he was at the nearby Hillcrest funeral home with a negotiator who was trying to get the gunman on the phone.
At the moment he went in that classroom, they started calling from. I wasn't there at the initial, but at the moment he went in that classroom, they were trying to get numbers and calls.
McLaughlin maintains trust in the law enforcement investigation, despite his frustrations with the changing narrative.
They've had 3 press conferences, and at all 3 press conferences, something has changed. I'm not part of the investigation, but I mean, what I am part of, I think the truth will come out. And if we made mistakes, we'll own those mistakes.
The Texas Department of Public Safety says they are no longer answering questions on the matter. All questions and inquiries from now on will be fielded by the district attorney's office. The Uvalde DA, Christina Busby, says once the investigation is complete, she will, quote, review it and see if there are any criminal charges that need to be brought. This as there is mounting criticism directed at Uvalde School Police Chief Pete Arredondo. Arredondo spoke to CNN earlier Wednesday and says he is cooperating with the investigation despite previous reports saying otherwise. He refused to give any substantive response to why he decided not to apprehend the gunman sooner.
You have an opportunity
to
explain yourself to the parents.
And just so you know, we're gonna do that eventually, obviously.
When?
And whenever this is done, and let the families quit grieving, then we'll do that, obviously.
Mayor McLaughlin says he has not spoken with Arredondo since the shooting, but confirmed he is cooperating with DPS.
Mr. Arredondo is not a Uvalde police officer. He works for the Uvalde Consolidated Independent School District. I have no jurisdiction or over him whatsoever. I've reached out, but like I said, I haven't talked to Pete.
This as the community continues grieving and burying the 21 victims. On Wednesday, the funeral for teacher Irma Garcia and her husband took place. Garcia shielded her 4th grade students from the bullets. Garcia's husband Joe died just 2 days after the shooting after a medical emergency. This picture shows mourners around the pair's caskets. DPS trooper Juan Maldonado also honored his friend, teacher Eva Morelos, and says he was with her the moment she died at Robb Elementary School.
It was an honor to spend the last moment with Eva as she left this earth into a greater place. Eva's a fighter, and she did everything she could to protect her babies, and that's her students. So we know she did everything she could, and she protected them to her last breath.
That was CNN's Nick Valencia reporting there. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Stay with CNN.